Ahoy there, and welcome to the LAINAVERSE. I am Lady LAINAVERSE, that dancing digital seer embodying black freedom. Today, I am inviting you to join me on my quest as I take another shot at being a service provider through my service business, my service brand, LAINAVERSEworks, which is under the umbrella of LAINAVERSE. I am offering my services as a strategic planning facilitator where I offer a 1 day strategy sprint workshop for businesses looking to refine their internal relations and work efficiency to get projects completed, whatever the project may be, and what ultimately will fuel your business's growth. I have a particular talent for empowering people, zooming out and seeing the big picture, and having enough aura, enough charisma to run the show and to pretty much be an equalizer to level the playing field for everybody involved, removing the power dynamics, removing the office politics, deflating egos, and making sure that everybody has a place in where their skill set fits in, where their passions and interests fit in, and just having the overall opportunity to explore and expand upon hidden or unspoken talents as a part of the completion of whatever this project is. Projects can include development and execution of a content marketing strategy, whether you already have one or you need help cultivating one or making sense of or adding some sauce to whatever one that you generated through ChatGPT or other AI or all that rigmarole, blah blah blah. If you need help setting up an internal department, no matter the size, if it's only a team of you and 4 other people, or if you have 2 or 3 people who you're leaning on to build out an internal department like your accounting and bookkeeping, if you need help going to market and you need a strategy for your brand story, or whatever the project, the product, the campaign, whatever the fuck it is that you have the concept but you don't know what it's going to look like, or you just need outside input on how you're going to market with it. And fuck, it can really be any project that involves a team effort, that involves multiple hands and eyes and brains and bodies and souls at your company. It can even be something as you need a new workflow, you need new structure, you need new operations for your whatever you're doing. If you're restructuring, if you're hiring people, if you're building out something new, and you may have a clear idea on it, you may already have experience with it, but you're not getting the results that you want, it's time to rework the strategy. My approach and why I make it 1 day is I'm into professional flings, I guess, where I'm not interested in the commitment of working with a company and producing shit for a company for more than a day or a couple days, really. So I have found, if we prioritize the money, I want to invest the time, but it's also that issue of trading time for money. Fuck that. Let's focus on value and how I actually want to live my life and my lifestyle, and how I can bridge that with what people need and how it'll leave a lasting impact on your company. So my signature service is called ThoughtWorks, because I am your thought partner. I am you and your company, your team, your employees, your co-founders, your stakeholders, whomever the fuck. I am your partner in helping to bring it all together, but I say thought works because we all think, mind, brain. The logic is the way, when honestly it's a whole I have a holistic approach to how I run things, how I maintain relationships throughout the course of the project, and just to infinity, as long as like we're vibing with each other and shit. My holistic approach means that I am factoring in people's personalities, people's genuine interests, people's frustrations, projects that have already been done, even personal projects that people may have already been successful with, but there hasn't been buy-in in the company. I help to bridge that gap, and again, to deflate any type of communication dynamics that are not helpful to everybody's development. What's really inspiring me with this is from Robert Kiyosaki's book, Rich Dad Poor Dad. He says, work to learn, don't work for money. Of course, everybody hop, skips, and jumps to the money aspect, but it's like, increasing your profit margin and getting the best out of your employees, there's learning involved with that. And he even speaks to leadership and communication really being the most valuable skills that you can have. And some people convince themselves that they have better communication and leadership skills than they actually do, which is why you should consider investing in a third party if you're not getting the results that you want when your team does shit, or your projects aren't seeing the light of day because this stakeholder doesn't believe in or understand the vision and won't put funding or resources behind it. Communication and leadership are essential elements to everybody getting what they want and it being a win-win. There is compromise, but I think the compromise should be focused on how can everybody win in this, everybody involved win in this situation, and what is that going to look like in the long term. As one of my clients have said, I'm a very passionate, vibrant person. Most of the time, not all the time. But I have an energy that people feel, and it is an energy that has inspired me to shape this into a service where I am kickstarting, rekindling, whatever the fuck the momentum is within your company, or just creating the momentum and then helping to build the systems to sustain that momentum based off of your current resources, based off of what's currently available. We can be aspirational, but we also gotta be, I'm about grounding the aspiration as far as, okay, how many people do you actually have available? How many hours in the day do they actually have available? And really, how many hours in the day, week, months to devote to this project? And also considering their lives. These workshops that I'm doing are digital, they're virtual, but I also factor in, like, one of my clients, he works in his business, so he's running deliveries. We had to reschedule before I condensed this into a one-day workshop. We were working together for 4 days. We had to reschedule a couple times because he was delivering orders. There was a hiccup that he ran into when he was picking up product to take to another location. All right. The momentum isn't dead. I still gave him shit to do. He still had work to do to keep things moving, but I kept everyone accountable and on schedule or on whatever time block to keep shit moving. So that's my approach for ThoughtWorks, what I'm doing with LAINAVERSEworks as a strategic planning facilitator. After we do the one day, it's a 5.5-hour workshop where we have, it's separated into 3 blocks. We got 90 minutes, 15, no, it's 10 minutes. I planned it out. It's 90 minutes, 10-minute break, another 90 minutes, another 10-minute break, and then 2 hours. Last of that, 30 minutes is like closing out, wrapping up, whatever the fuck. But the breakdown of each of those blocks is going to be based off of whatever your goal is, whatever the strategy is that we're planning. So the first hour and a half is going to be a lot of ideation. It's me not just learning about your company and your mission, but it's also me evaluating everybody's availability, everybody's skill sets, what people are curious about getting better at. Potentially, if there is budget available to hire outside help, if you need additional tools, what your current tools are, who you consider your competition to be, doing a little SWOT analysis to really bring everything to the surface, to get ideas going, to give everybody a level playing field. And then in the next segment, we actually start planning out how we're taking action, how long this is actually, how long we can actually take to get the work done. And yeah, that's pretty much it for that. Is laying out, just spitballing and laying out what the actual timeline looks like, especially because my thing is you can get the work as soon as the meeting is over. You may be tired, more than likely you're going to be invigorated to do something, but my thing is making a grounded plan that you feel invigorated to start taking action on in less than 48 hours. After what, and then what, the last segment is, it is really up in the air depending on what the project is. I may be able to start assigning work for y'all to start doing during that time. If there's things I need you to start researching, we'll take inventory. I'll even take inventory on if there's certain companies or individuals that I can introduce you to in my network so that we can get the ball rolling. I can start sending out messages, handle all that shit. And the format of this, like I said, is going to be virtual. We're either going to do it during, more than likely we're going to do it through Google Meet, but we could do Zoom. Ultimately, I'm doing a screen share. I use the project or work management platform called Asana to lay out everything. That doesn't mean that you have to use Asana. It can be exported to other platforms like Trello, potentially Notion, Monday, maybe some other ones that I can't think of. But there's the opportunity to cross over from what I just laid out, where I do a calendar view, I take notes, I put dates, I add everybody who's attending the meeting to the Asana so that people get assigned work and assign their tasks in advance. We decide if you need to get resources, you get resources by this day. That's the whole thing. So what happens afterwards? Afterwards, you'll have access to the Asana. You can contact me via email. I can follow up within 48 hours, and we'll schedule weekly 30-minute check-ins. Sending these emails back and forth is preparation for these check-ins, and the check-ins are mainly to make sure that you're maintaining momentum, everybody's doing what they need to fucking do, and once I'm out, it's basically me setting in stone that once I am gone, y'all get the shit done. And if you don't get the shit done, that's your money that you wasted. They ain't got shit all to do with me. I'm doing my due diligence to make sure the shit gets done, because I don't want to work with motherfuckers who don't fucking do the work. Because it's a waste of my time. I ain't got a testimonial. Like, I got the payment. You can't get mad at me at what you didn't do. So that goes to the main type of client I'm looking for is for one, not cowards, not motherfuckers who are afraid to change. You need to be willing to change. You need to know that you ain't in charge of me and I don't work for you. I work with you. If you can't keep your ego in check, if you got problematic people on your team, I'll deal with that. I will deal with that. So be aware of what you're investing in. But yeah, after that, if over those 3 weeks, you can buy more time if you need more check-ins, because as I've been told, like a couple of people, like business owners, like I was the adult in the room. So you can buy more of that time for more check-ins, or if you want me to be directly involved to get my beautiful fingers in the midst, you can hire me for 6 weeks as your fractional chief strategy officer. Maybe you need more time, maybe not. I ain't trying to hold your motherfucking hand, because otherwise, what are you in business for? So that's it. If you want to learn more, head to the link below, LAINAVERSEworks.com. You can check out my case studies, get more into, read over more of the process, or you have access to that to check out, share with people on your team. You can get on my calendar so that we can have a little 20-minute chat if you want to do a face-to-face. Or you can go ahead and book your day and put 50% down. And it still has to be approved. But, if you're ready to make that investment of 5.5 hours, you already decided that's a move that you want to do for your company, by all means, sign up. And I'll see you on the other side. And that's pretty much it. Thanks for spending time with me. And I look forward to being your ThoughtWorks partner.